Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat dyan. Kumusta po kayo? At ngayon po ay atin pong tutunghayan ang laban ni Manny Paquiao na kung saan ang kanyang kalaban ay si Marco Antonio Barrera. Ito po ay una nilang laban na naganap noong 2003 at ito rin po ang laban na kung saan nagsimulang sumikat si Manny Paquiao.
40 knockouts, Manny Paquiao 37-2-1, 28 knockouts, 12 rounds for featherweight supremacy in the world. And they're packed in here at the Alamo Dome. I am Dave Bontempo with Art Mack, and the crowd at a fever pitch, getting ready to explode when these guys make their way into the ring. Each the same, so it boils down to execution and experience. Barrera 5 years older than Paquiao. That's the key number in that tail of the tape. And the rules in this contest: no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell at all. Only the referee can stop the fight, although ringside physicians do get input, especially with cuts. Hey, you think they like Barrera here?
Yeah, what do you think? Is this his hometown? He's adopting it as his hometown.
It's his hometown tonight. Officially, he's from Mexico City. And there's Paquiao, the first one in.
Yeah, he's a physically strong fighter. Great power in both hands. Good speed. As we mentioned earlier, he's knocked out 70% of his opponents. The average length of his bout's only 4.3 rounds. He's never gone 12 rounds, Dave. He's 4-0 in 10-round bouts. So the question is, how strong will he be at the end if it goes a distance?
How well can he stretch out? Paquiao from the Philippines, 29 knockouts in his 40 fights. And he comes with power. And Paquiao looks for divine intervention. Here is Marco Antonio Barrera. And you see the game face and the smile of the accomplished professional. Well, he loves this reception.
Well, Barrera has an exceptional punching powers in both hands. Great combinations. He's great to the body.
Oscar's happy to see him.
And another thing about Barrera, he's got a solid...
Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trimmed with black, his official weight, 125 pounds. In his professional career, he has demonstrated amazing power while compiling an outstanding record of 37 victories, including 28 knockouts, with only 2 defeats and 1 bout even, while capturing a world title, which is not on the line tonight. From General Santos City, Philippines, the challenger, the IBF Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, Manny Paquiao. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white with black letters, and officially weighing 126 pounds. His professional record is an excellent one, consisting of 57 victories, including 40 knockouts with only 3 defeats, and he is recognized by his peers, the fans, and pundits alike as one of the very best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today. Ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros, de Ciudad de Mexico, el campeón de la gente, the reigning, defending, universally recognized featherweight champion of the world, the baby-faced assassin, Marco Antonio Barrera.
I want to have a good, clean fight. Pelea limpia y buena suerte. Good luck. Touch him up.
So, jubilation reigns in the house. How will Paquiao handle the big lights of Barrera's adopted hometown? What about the tension? What about him moving up? What about his southpaw power? Will that affect Barrera? All those questions will now be put on the table and answered over the course of this scheduled 12-rounder. It should be a dandy, and here we go. Barrera in the white trunks, and Paquiao is a southpaw. Let's see if he can land that big power left hand, or will he be tentative to do that against the good defense of Barrera?
You know, you look at these two fighters, and immediately you notice that Barrera seems to be naturally a bigger fighter. That was a slip.
Paquiao is down, though.
They scored.
They're calling it a knockdown, so Paquiao already in some deep trouble. Let's see how he adjusts. He looks confused. Will Barrera left, Barrera's right. He tries to get in line for the right hand and instead throws the left hook.
Nevertheless, very impressive round by Barrera, despite the controversy surrounding that knockdown.
Well, he's able to keep Paquiao from getting any real big shots home and setting an early tone. So Barrera has a 10-8 round most likely. Paquiao gets out of it. So they each got something. Let's take a look and see what happened. The jab gets through by Paquiao, and the feet get tangled up, and that should have been a slip. So it goes down most likely as a 10-8 round for Barrera, but not properly so. Nonetheless, the judges follow the referee's lead. If the referee calls it a knockdown, they go that way. That's an important note to consider, but it showed that the feet got tangled up, and that happens with righties and lefties a lot. The heads come together a lot. And Paquiao back on the inside. Boy, how much fun is this?
The fans are getting this slugfest.
Paquiao is going to get his money's worth here as he opens it up, and they put 2 rounds of a war into one. You talk about a battle of attrition, this is it.
We got to fight.
Nice round. Manny Paquiao making a bid in round 2 to win this fight. And you saw the welt under the left eye of Barrera and almost a cut inside there. Pacquiao's hand speed got there. So into round 3 we go. And this is a sizzling bout, as expected.
And as
sometimes the back end of the combination is what's getting through.
you know, and he's not a physically large man, but he has great leverage, doesn't he?
And so for Paquiao, just getting out of the first round was big, and for Barrera, just getting out of round 3 is big because Paquiao invested a lot of energy in this round, and let's see how that plays out as we go along. What a round. Well, how many power punching lefties do you see? What a shot by Paquiao.
I'm impressed with Paquiao tonight. Barrera tried to gamely fight back, but Paquiao just walked right through him, landed some more devastating shots.
And notice how he turned from one punch to the second one in the knockdown. Look at the leverage. Watch the hips of Paquiao. That's how he's generating it. His second punch coming behind the first has all the leverage. You picture any other sport where you spin all your power into a shot, and that's what Paquiao did. Here we are in round 4. It's a beauty between Marco Antonio Barrera in the white trunks, Manny Paquiao in the red. We're at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. This is Dave Bontempo with Art Mack. Barrera, 57-3, 40 knockouts. Paquiao, 37-2-1, 29 knockouts. A knockdown of a flash variety because the feet slipped in round 1, given to Barrera as a 10-8 round, and Paquiao with a thunderous 10-8 round in the third.
I would think Barrera right is going to try and buy some time, stay away from him for a couple of rounds, try and push this fight into the later rounds and then take control again. That would be my game plan right now because Pacquiao's simply too dangerous, too quick for him.
Well, for Barrera, he has to jab as if this fight depends. Even if he were to give a round away, that's not as bad for him as walking into these big shots. If he can slow down the pace and try to regain the composure, he'd be all right with that, and then try to get this fight down the stretch.
Well, once again, Pacquiao's never been in a 12-round fight. He's never gone the distance. He's never had to, of course.
And the way he fought in the beginning of the last round, it didn't look like he'd have to tonight. So a good round for Pacquiao again as he tries to open it up. And look at this. The power, the speed. And he's got Barrera's number so far. But it's only through 4 rounds. They continue to wail away. Good round again for Pacquiao. Pacquiao landing with 36% of his power punches, and that's a big number, and that's something we'll keep an eye on. If that number in power punches ever gets up around 50, that's when fights usually end.
Yeah, for every shot Barrera's landing, Pacquiao's coming back with 3.
So round 5, and Pacquiao
He's getting stronger by the minute.
waging a thrilling performance if you're a purist, and if you're a Marco Antonio Barrera fan, he's breaking your heart. But he is explosive energy. We saw that in his last fight against Emmanuel Lucero, just a powerful left hand coming in. And because of the quick feet, watch how he turns into his punches, and so he's not that predictable.
Exactly, with his quick feet, as you said. Even when Barrera's backing away, he's able to step in and land a good-looking punch.
A lot of guys will throw a jab and a power shot, and it has a certain rhythm to it so that you can time it after a while. But if the guy's always moving on a different angle, the second punch is coming out of a different place than it did the last time.
Well, Barrera's trying to outbox him right here, keep his distance, and we alluded to this earlier in this broadcast. Barrera has become a better boxer of late.
But here's Pacquiao coming on him again. Barrera had moved smartly, but Pacquiao continued to swarm him. He's not giving Barrera any rest. And so this fight, for sure, round 3. And he did it emphatically. Barrera dodging the 2-punch combination here by Pacquiao. Crowd trying to urge him on now that they sense he's out of danger. But he's tying up Pacquiao. And although Barrera looks physically stronger, Pacquiao has been the more muscle-bound fighter.
Well,
Power shots have been his.
It's that leverage we're talking about, Dave. He has tremendous leverage.
So Pacquiao putting points in the bank, and they exchange some sportsmanship. Pacquiao throwing twice as many punches as Barrera, and in that sequence even more. He's just a windmill with those shots, but they're not cheap ones.
And Barrera's corners telling Barrera that Pacquiao doesn't have anything. Well, Barrera's corner's not getting hit with those punches.
No, they're not, and they're trying to psych him up a little bit, but he's been around the block, and he knows when his opponent has nothing and when he has something. And there seems to be plenty left in that Pacquiao gas tank. What they should be telling him, I think, Art, is to focus more on some lateral movement so that Pacquiao would have to lunge at him and not come straight to him, make it harder for Pacquiao to get there.
Well, we're beginning to get into the middle of the fight right now, and Pacquiao only averages about 4 rounds of fight, so right about now, Barrera is going to be intently watching him to see if he slows down a little bit, and then he can seize the opportunity. That has to be his only hope right now.
Well, he could try the right-hand lead. He could try to beat Pacquiao to the punch. So Barrera, you know he's got at least another run in him.
Slip.
Down he goes from a slip in the feet. Must have come together again because he got nailed too.
Well, we could also be seeing the dawning of a new great champion.
It's looking that way at this point. Here's the action on the inside. Hit low, uppercut. They called that a slip, and I'll tell you what, you have to look at the feet. That will show you. That looked like a knockdown. So now that's 2 points that Barrera has gotten as a bonus. 1 in the first round when he got credit for a knockdown, and there when he should have been knocked down, and it's called the slip. So if you have Barrera losing by 3, it really should be 5.
Well, I have Barrera losing.
That's important.
Manny.
Well, the good news is it's not over his eyes, so it shouldn't obstruct his vision too much.
But if this would have caused the end of the bout, which it could,
it'll go to points.
They'll go to points because they've finished 6 rounds already, and that's nasty.
No, he knows he's trailing in this fight. Barrera does not want to stop this fight.
On the other hand, he's getting
Well, actually, it's looking over his left arm.
Will he continue? That's a big question.
Well, Barrera has to continue fighting if he wants to win this bout.
Barrera does not look like he wants to have this fight go on.
6 rounds into the 7th round right here.
So the fans are
a
happy.
technical draw.
Fans are happy he'll go back at it, but you know, even though Barrera has to know he's trailing, you get the sense that even though he wanted to stop, maybe he just wanted to quit. He just doesn't want to be in this fight anymore.
Well, no matter what he tries, he just keeps getting pummeled.
Stop. We've seen more life out of Barrera, and here's Paquiao taking it away. There's a deliberate butt there by Barrera. That's a frustrated fighter. That was a flagrant and deliberate headbutt. And so Paquiao beating Barrera in just about every way you can. Well, we talked about headbutts with righties and lefties, and we saw it here in the 7th round. Look at these heads come together right there, clashing. And then Barrera, right after this, shows the effect with the eye. As he gets nailed in the deliberate headbutt there by Barrera to the chest. And that has to hurt too.
Oh yeah, you know, they called it an accidental headbutt, but Pacquiao didn't mind getting his head in there either.
Into round 8 we go.
And I have Pacquiao ahead by 4 points. 5 rounds to go. I call that last round even, Dave.
Remember, as the cut gets worse out of Barrera's eye, Barrera has also benefited from 2 bad calls. But he's already on the point where he just about needs the knockout. 5 rounds to go.
Just about.
And he's going to go for that knockout. And here's Paquiao right on Barrera, and Barrera back, showing the tremendous heart he is known for. Barrera will look ready to quit in the last round, and now looks ready to go again.
Yep.
Paquiao is on him. Barrera looking over at the referee, saying it's the headbutt.
Every time Barrera tries to mount an attack, Pacquiao just comes right back and lands about 4 straight shots.
Over this long a period, and if there's a surprise in Barrera's camp, it probably will be that.
You're right, we're in the 8th round and he still looks fresh.
They may have expected some speed and some surprises, but they figured he would fade. Instead, he's showing a ton of heart, and this is quite a good fight. Pacquiao coming right at him. Look at the speed here, and these guys have had the heads. There's Pacquiao, and he initiated that one. And it wasn't called.
No, that was a very flagrant headbutt in my eyes.
Well, Barrera has benefited from 2 bad calls, and then in that case, Pacquiao benefited from a non-call. What's happening is his momentum is carrying him forward. You watch Pacquiao as he's throwing these punches, rollicking forward, and the head has to come in. Well,
meanwhile, we're in round 9 and time is running out for Barrera.
Can the proud Barrera eliminate everything that's happened to him? He's trying. Pacquiao back with 2 more. Here's Pacquiao with even more.